Hi kids, now we're going to start with our class number 3. Okay, class number 3. We will start in clever writing, that is page 54 of week number 2. In the first part, activity number 1, it says read the text and what type of text is it. Please remember that we already talked about the type of texts. So please check if you want to do it, if you think that is informative, explanatory, if it tries to get the attention of the person that is reading it. And I want to see what is your opinion about the text. Please write it on the line. There we have some words. We have crush, that is when two things join or with an impact. That will be to crush. We have semicolon, that is a punctuation mark, the one that has the point and the comma. We have shed, that it can be like a little house where you keep things. Spade, a type of sword or a knife. Watering is the action of putting water into the plants. It can also be considered like a big um, group, not a group, like a big place where water is there. And weeding is to take out of a field all those little plants that are supposed to not be worth it. Okay, there you have a little thing of grammar that explains punctuation marks. You will also have a tutorial for this, comma, semicolon, and colon. Next page, page 55. On page 55, it tells you to use the tutorial that I'm going to assign you in YouTube. And filling with the correct punctuation mark, you have to use colon, comma, or semicolon, okay, to complete the squares. And in activity number 3, it said reread Alan's letter to his parents, grandparents, and fill in the following information using the appropriate punctuation. Gardeners, seeds, tools, and shores. Please read the text again and try to find text or a sentence where it talks about these different topics and write it right there. Activity number 4, we will not do it together. Please make a line on activity number 4 with your highlighter. In the next one, it says, how does it feel to fly in a dream? If you have ever flown in a dream, please write your experience right there. In the activity number 1, it says work in teams of 5. The year is 2250. You are astronauts who have been assigned the mission of colonizing Mars. The first step is to plant thousands of trees, vegetables, and fruits on the surface of the planet. Brainstorm with your classmates all the things that you need to bring in order to fulfill the mission successfully. Please write 3 objects or 3 actions that you need to do in order to fulfill the mission. In activity number 2, before, we have some keywords. Mars, you know, is a planet. Mission is where you have to do something. You need to reach a goal. A pine is a type of tree. Policy is like a rule, something that you guys need to follow. Successfully, when you finish an activity and you did it correctly, that can be successfully doing something, okay? Telescope is an instrument to see things that are very far away, to see them closely. It says continue working with your team, take the list that you brainstormed, the one that we did in the past activity, and organize it by categories. Seeds, gardening, we're going to use the same categories that we did in the top. Gardeners, seeds, tools, and chores, okay? Please write the 4 categories there and put the things that you guys brainstormed in the top, and when we talk together in the class, we will fill this activity together, okay? Next page, page 57. It says, in your notebook, write a formal petition to the Space Department asking for all the things on your list to be sent to Mars. Here there is a there is a space where you have an example. It says Space Department, mission to Mars. These are the supplies we need. And there's an example right there. Please write it in your notebook. Follow the instructions. Activity number 4, discuss with your team The personal possessions that you and your teammates would take to Mars. Choose wisely. In this one, we're going to make a task. I want you to write 10 things that you would take to Mars as a person. For example, I would take coffee because I really need coffee, water, and sugar. What do you guys need to live in Mars? Okay? Something that you think it's very important for you. In the next page, we're going to start with sharp speaking. Okay? In the first part, we have keywords, and it says local. Local, you know that is a place that is close to you, or that is like in downtown, or that is in your town. That is local. Machinery, it's a group of machines. Um, Movies, what we see in Netflix. It's a film. Products, what we get out of a process. Services, services we can have like, for example, for you guys, water, electricity. Those are things that we can consider as services. Theater is a place where we go and see the place. Here it says, get into Paris and discuss the difference between living in a city and living in the country. I want you to write two different things, two different opinions. How do you think is to live in the city and the difference of living in the country? Remember that in the country is like in the outsides of the city. Okay? And what is your preference? Please write your opinion. In activity number 2, in your platform, you guys will have the track that it says right there, Life on the Farm. And you guys will answer with me right here. Please try to have it ready. True, not true, or I cannot say. In the next one, it says, remember the smell of your favorite food. For example, I like sushi. It doesn't smell really good sometimes, but it's really good when you taste it. So try to describe the smell of your favorite food. If it's spicy, if you think it's sweet, if it's sour. And give us one or two characteristics of the food. Remember to write what food you're talking about. In the next one, in activity number 3, you guys have to complete, it says country or city and why. Write the preference for each category below. In the first one, it says entertainments, movies and restaurants. Do you think it's better in the country or in the city? And why? In this one, for example, I would say, I think it's better in the city because in the country there aren't a lot of cinemas. Okay, that will be my why. And in the first column, I will write city. So remember, in the first column, write city or country, and then write why. In activity number 4, we're not going to do it. Please make a line on it. Activity number 1 on the next page, page 50, I'm sorry, 60, page 60. Activity number 1, in your notebook, write 15 words you associate with farming or farm products. Then form teams of 5 and compare your lists. Organize the words in 3 categories and write them below. I want you to write, for example, tools, seeds, or products. Okay, and we will share when we are together, when we will be together in our class. In activity number 2, you have another track, and in activity number 3, you will have another track that it will be in your platform. Okay, in order to answer this. And we have some more keywords. Canned. It's food that is inside a can, and it's usually sealed, and you have to open it to get it out, like chilies. Equipment. It's a synonym of tools. Fresh. Something that is not refrigerated, something that it hasn't gone through a process, like the products like tomatoes when you get them from the farm or from the fields. Hose. It's a long tube that we connect to the faucet and we get water through it to water the plants or to clean something. Milk is a product that we get out of the cows. And repair is when you fix something. It's a verb. In activity number 4, it says producing the following items require many steps. Work with the classmates and with the classmate and imagine a schedule for preparing these items. For example, it says tomato sauce, 8 a.m. chop the tomatoes, 10 start cooking them, 11 a.m. add seasoning, 1 p.m. can the sauce, so put it in a can, 3 p.m. pack the cans in cartons. What process do you think it takes to get milk, eggs, and canned corn? Okay, please try to write 3 schedules with 3 different activities in each one. In activity number 5, it says survey 3 classmates about their favorite meal. This one we will do it together, okay? So don't answer this one, we will answer it in class. In the next activity, you guys have a test yourself. And remember, this is a practice for Cambridge. Even though we already did Cambridge, it's very important to answer them so we can keep practicing. I want you to read the complete text and answer the questions in the bottom. Right, wrong, or it doesn't say. You have 6 questions right there, okay? The activity on the next page is for your speaking part. This one, we will not answer it.